So first, I'd like to go over Ken in Smash. He had a rough start, not having the best options and tools. You could fall out of a lot of his combos. Nothing was really flowing together. But the game's lifespan is kind of over right now. The devs aren't working on it anymore. So it's in its really solid state. It's been through a lot of patches. And in some of those patches, we got some good buffs to Ken. He has become a real nightmare to play against. They've given him a very strong offense. You know, he deals insane amount of damage off of almost any hit, like Ganondorf. But he also maintains the movement and speed of the majority of the cast, making him a difficult character to play against. In Smash, he plays similar to in Street Fighter, where he uses his special inputs and always faces the direction of his opponent. So now let's get into his toolkit. To understand Ken's moves, you have to understand the difference between his light, medium, and heavy version of moves. All of his tilts have a light and a heavy version. So you have his light down tilt and heavy down tilt. You have his light jab, heavy jab, up tilt, heavy up tilt, forward tilt, heavy. And something to also notice is some of them change based off of the distance. So you have heavy and then light. Heavy, light. The light stays the same, but the heavy doesn't. And that will be a little bit wonky within combos, where you're trying to get the heavy jab to set into something like crescent kick, where then you'll end up having to use up tilt, heavy up tilt, and that won't always connect, so you'll end up just having to sub out for up tilt. Because it would work if you could get the jab, but sometimes based off of the character and your placement, you're just gonna get the kick instead. So moving on, to get to his light and heavy, your light, if you have it with the tilts on the stick, you just flick it down. Or if you want the heavy, you just hold it. If you're not, then you just kind of hold down on the other stick and you just tap. This provides a lot of pressure because you can go up and do that on someone's shield. His light down and up tilt are really good at stuffing up people's options. They'll catch people very often, and if they do hit, you can just confirm into it. Confirm into different moves. He's a very good character when he gets up in your face, clearly, because if you're stuck in the down tilts, the only real thing you can do is hold out and hope that I don't immediately just confirm into something like that. Where the roundhouse kick will do immediate 40%, which is a lot. So it's really a little bit awkward trying to get in and out, because you don't know, do you want to go for as many tilts as you want until they fall out, or do you just want to go hit roundhouse and get the damage and move on? It's a little bit odd, because even on shield, you can keep doing this, but if someone has a good uppie out of shield, they just block uppie and you just get hit. Or they can just block and jump away. It's a little bit odd. Sometimes you can catch them trying to roll, you can catch them trying to jump, and if they don't have a good uppie, you can catch the uppie. Now if they try to jump, you can easily catch that with up tilt. They can jump out of down tilt majority of the time, but you can catch their jump outs with up tilt. Other things to keep in mind, you have shield break setups. So moves that are good with shield breaking, hard pressing kick, and hard roundhouse. That second hit will melt the shield. Something else, for the setups, you can do down smash into roundhouse. That will destroy the shield. So what some people do is, if they notice that they're shielding, and I know that you have a little bit of your shield gone, because it's not going to destroy the whole shield just doing this. So what they'll do is boom, boom, boom. Or boom, boom, boom. Off of that, if I'm just going for the down tilt, they know the roundhouse is not going to break shield. It's going to heavy chunk it, but it's not going to break it. But if they're expecting that, and I go for the down smash, you can easily melt that shield, especially if it's already been chunked. Another thing that people start to watch out for is the down smash. They don't realize that you can just cancel it into something else off of it. So they will think they're free. And that is something that Ken players love to abuse. They think they're free, and then boom, they got smacked in the face by his foot. Same with down tilt. I'll go for it, and they block, and I know they're going to try something, but I know what they're going for is going to probably get them out if I don't confirm. So I'm just going to throw out the roundhouse, and the moment they try to get away, like a jump, they just meet the foot, and then they're gone. Another thing is the back air. That'll do a lot of damage to shield, so you can just run up, and if you can space it correctly, they can't really do much on your shield. And if they approach, you can just catch them with a down tilt, and now they've walked right into you, and you're back into it. He has a lot of things with these tools. Another tool he has, down special. Focus is really good. It puts them in this type of thing where you can easily combo. You can get almost anything you want off of that. You really can do whatever. And so, one thing that people don't realize is that this will take one hit. It doesn't matter the damage, but it will take one hit. You'll still take the damage, but the damage isn't really what matters here. It's about you take the hit and then you hit them. And the amount of it that can charge is the amount that they'll take the fall. So, another thing that people can do, you can cancel it by pressing a direction 2 times. So, if I'm off stage, I can do it, jump, and then recover. It lets you mix up your recovery so that you don't get ledge guard. If they go to edge guard, and they're going really deep, you can just take the hit, cancel, get back. One thing you also gotta worry about here with his up B, it'll snap, but also it won't. It depends on, you have to get really good at the spacing. But if you're under, it will hit them around right here. So if they're trying to 2-frame and catch your approach, you can just kind of hit them off of you. It's really nice. So let's get into the more how we're going to use this stuff. So, as I kind of mentioned before, Ken's moves are more of a flow chart, and this character plays a lot more, while he is aggressive, it works really good as a bait and punish. You want to know the space in between, because if you can use some of the tech to really get in, so like whiff and then you come in and then you hit, or just sit outside of their spacing, wait for them to make a mistake, pick them, and then go in, you get big money, big damage. It's really good. Some of his tech, you can really slide across the stage. It gives you a really good burst option that lets you shield while you're still approaching, because he's sliding. And like, it's really good because his normal dash, you can't shield until you're done. If you can do that, you can shield while you're sliding, getting you not even closer, but also you get your protection. A really good way to approach, keeps him very offensive. So you can easily slide into that little zone, the little box around characters, and do, look at that, 60%. Some of the things to look out for when you're using this character, you can always get a Nair combo. Nairs are really good, it'll set into heavy jab, easy 64, just like that. Another thing to look out for, when you're off stage, Nair is really good. It is really good, it pushes them towards the direction you're looking at. So if I'm trying to keep Ryu off, like I am right now, See how much farther that pushed him out? Like someone like Little Mac, that just killed them. Other things to really look out for. Crescent kick is a really good move. It pops him up like that. You can get a lot off of it. Down smash into roundhouse is really good. And you can get that at low percents off of a jab crescent kick. That's how you get a lot of damage really quick. A lot of his aerials, if you get used to them, they will start to connect into each other. So, let's say up air into forward air, that's true. Stuff like that. That one wasn't true. But one thing you can do, crescent kick into down air, it spikes, kills really early. Unlike Ryu, his Hadoken isn't what you're going to be using very often. You really use it to really say, hey, get back in here. It's not a get off of me. Unlike Ryu, it doesn't chunk shield and it doesn't do a lot of damage. And with Ryu, you can easily like force them to take it on the shield or avoid it because they can't parry. With this, it can be parried really easily. His up B is better than Ryu's. Multi-hit. Well, it's better in certain aspects. Ryu's is better at the base, and Ken's is really good if you can hit it at the top. If you know where that little sweet spot is, and you're waiting for them to get above you, it's really nice to hit that sweet spot and just get the kill. A lot of times when you get someone in the air, you can confirm up air into up B, get a good hit, very good confirm. It's just the little things like that. Other things to look out for. Side B, unlike Ryu, his side B hits more than once, and it does a little thing where it'll carry. It's not very consistent, so a lot of players will use the true input light one, because at higher percentages, like around 40 and 38, you can do down tilt light Tatsu, jab lock, into the Shoryuken. And it gets really close to killing. And it can kill some people if you do it correctly. So yeah, that move is something to always keep track of. One thing you can do as a new player, that is not true, but it can be. It's really weird. Again, the move is inconsistent as heck, but sometimes it works because there's not much they can do. A lot of characters or players will be mashing like shield or an air dodge, you know, trying to get out of it. But since you're right there, you just throw out your fastest move, down tilt, and you can catch them landing in lag, and then just throw out the kick. It's also a really good corner carry move. Carries about the halfway through the stage. Around with the back throw. Back throw also carries about halfway. Those are the little things that do it. One thing to watch out, again, he has to get in close. So if you're playing against zoners, he kind of struggles, but he is a fast character. So he, unlike Kazuya, where you have to actually reflect, this character doesn't have to. He doesn't have reflect, but he can get around it anyways. He's fast, he can make his movements, and if you can read that they're about to throw out something like, let's say Ryu's about to throw out a Hadoken, just jump in with falling Nair. Nair is one of our best combo moves. It's really up to you. Some of the things, he has some 50-50s. Crescent kick, right there, it's not true if I do anything after that. But if he's doing nothing, I can just do another one. And it's like a pseudo infinite. Other than some characters, they will just air dodge backwards. You just run up, do it again, or just run up and hit them. With anything, really. It's up to you. That's what's nice about the crescent kick. It really leaves it up to do you know your opponent. And if you do, you can really get anything off of it. Now, his back air is a very strong move. It's a good kill move. So if you want to get good with this character, you gotta learn how to return and turn around and do the back air. So yeah.